Hi, welcome to this tutorial on Microsoft Excel for accounting and finance. This is a quick guide to the forecast function. And there's the formula below that you have to type into Excel, equal forecast x, known y's and known x's. Okay, so the forecast function performs a linear forecast. It uses past data points on the XY plane to predict a future data point. And the number of use cases for this is almost limitless, given the boundaries outlined on the previous slide. But example use cases in accounting and finance include if you want to do a sales forecast or a cost forecast, an asset value or asset price forecast, or equity value or equity price forecast. And they're just some of the ones I could think of in about 30 seconds. There are many more. Okay, so let's look at the function. The first input you have to give to Excel is the X value. And this is the period or X value you want to predict the Y value for. Now it's on the X axis, so it can often be a timeline. So for instance, it's a point in time you want a prediction for. So if you want a prediction for sales on the 31st of December, then your X input would be the 31st of December inside your Excel worksheet. And we're going to give an example later on, so just hang in there if the slides aren't doing it for you. The next input is the known Y's. Now these are the values or data points that have already occurred. Now these are on the Y axis, and these are the units you want to measure or forecast. So what have been the previous results of the unit that we are trying to forecast? So again, if we're predicting the sales volume for the 31st of December, and it's now January 14th, what have been the sales volumes or sales amounts for January 1 to January 13 on each of those individual days? So they're the data values that are going to help generate the forecast. So they're what's happened in the past to help them make prediction for the future. And then finally, we have the known x's. And this is the x-axis again. And these are the x-axis data points that reference the values we just captured on our y-axis. That is, at what points on the x-axis did all our earlier and previous y-axis values occur? So remember I just said you enter in the sales volumes for January 1 to 13 to generate the forecast for December 31st? Well, January 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, you know what I'm getting at. They're the known X's. So the sales volumes would be the known Y's, and the actual dates would be the known X's. And then finally, you'll get the output. The cell will now generate an output, and in spoken English, this would be, given all the earlier Y's, at all the earlier X points, we forecast the value of Y at the point X to be, and that'll be the cell output that you have in your Microsoft Excel forecast function. Alright, so let's go to an example. You've heard me mentioning it earlier, but we're going to do a sales forecast. So this is the question. If we know the sales revenue for the first 4 quarters, what is the sales revenue forecast for quarter 12? Okay, so let's get out of here and get into our forecast. Alright, so here we have quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, all the way up to quarter 12. They're the X values, and here we have sales. Sales in the first quarter was 100, sales in the second quarter was 75, and so forth. So these are the Y values. And what we're trying to do is figure out what's our forecast sales volume or sales revenue for quarter 12. So even though we don't have these data, and we definitely don't have that, we're going to try and use this to predict this. Alright, so here's our forecast. So let's work it out here. Alright, so here we go. Equals, how you start all Excel functions. Forecast, we're using the forecast function. Open brackets, and then it'll give you your little tips about X, known X's and known Y's. What is the parameters it's asking for. So X. So we want a forecast for quarter 12. That's our X we're making our forecast for. Now we've got the known Y's. Now what are the sales volume, sales revenue figures we already have? That's them there. And what's the known X's? Now we've got the known Y's for the first 4 quarters, so our known X's are the first 4 quarters. Put the ending parentheses, and our forecast for quarter 12, it will be 274. So given that we have them, in the first 4 quarters. Our forecast for quarter 12 is 274. Let's get back into the slideshow, and that is it. I hope it helped. Best of success. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel, click on the button that'll soon appear, watch another one of my tutorials now, or even just give me a like, or if you really didn't like it, you can give me a dislike too. Finally, feel free to comment below if anything needs clarification, or if you just want to say hello. It doesn't have to be a one-way conversation. Thank you very much for your time.